Question number 18 in relation to the capital review.
Oh, my apologies, sorry, I have no
Will I answer?
Yeah.
Capital review. Okay, thank you. So the capital plan building on recovery is being reviewed to ensure that capital spending is strictly aligned with national economic and social priorities, which is consistent with the programme for partnership government objectives. A key goal for the review is to focus available capital resources on investment that can best underpin sustainable medium-term economic growth and social progress and enhance Ireland's future growth potential. And indeed, just to answer the earlier question that the Deputy put to me, the impact of Brexit is specifically included in the terms of reference that I have set for the capital review, and also the regional consequences for Brexit are recognised in the work that will happen across this year. The plan will be undertaken in 2 stages. The first phase will comprise a focused review of priorities aimed primarily at advising Government in the context of Budget 2018 and how the additional funding committed by Government for capital investment should be allocated over the remainder of the period of the plan. This will examine priority areas for investment consistent with the objectives of the existing capital plan and also reflect the specific investment priorities set out in the programme for government. The second phase of the review will assess and report on the framework required to underpin longer-term analysis of Ireland's infrastructure planning needs. Submissions will be sought from departments and key stakeholders, and the public consultation will be undertaken to inform the review. As part of this review, it is currently intended that my department will publish output as part of the 2017 mid-year expenditure report, including a stock data of progress on the delivery of the capital plan, a macroeconomic analysis which will make reference to Brexit, and an infrastructure demand analysis benchmarking existing infrastructure being supplied to assess its capability to meet demands as the economy continues to grow.
Thank you, Minister.
Thank you, Cathaoirleach. Mr. can you outline some of the dates for when the public consultation process will get underway and when there will be an engagement with the departments and various stakeholders, local authorities, etc.? What role will the national planning framework, the new national planning framework, have in the context of the capital review? Minister Coveney has given an indication that that framework will be restricted to an area south of the line of Galway City, including Galway City, but that other areas north of Galway City will not be necessarily included in that national planning framework in terms of the advancement. And in the context of Brexit, which is my next question, the area that's going to be most impacted is the border region. And what specific Brexit initiatives will be ingrained in the review of the capital plan to assist that? Finally, what engagement have you had, and I've asked this consistently, with the European Commission around state aid rules, around expenditure rules, and around their commitment to allow for capital expenditure beyond the normal rules? President Juncker, at the beginning of autumn, stated he wanted to see an investment in infrastructure, particularly when one considers the pronouncements of the new President of the US in relation to capital.
In terms of public consultation, I'd anticipate we will be beginning that in a few weeks' time, and local authorities are, of course, welcome to make their views known. In relation to a role that I have had with the Commission in relation to the classification of capital expenditure, the responsibility of that sits with Minister Noonan under the way the division of responsibilities between my 2 departments. Between the 2 departments, Minister Noonan has responsibility for engagement with the European Commission in relation to the split between current and capital and our compliance with fiscal rules. And in relation to the regional impact, as I said to you earlier on, Deputy, what I will be particularly looking at is the economic consequences of Brexit on a regional basis, and of course I am particularly aware that the northwest of our country and the border counties will be particularly affected by the exit of the United Kingdom from the European Union.
Thank you, Minister. I'm going to take one other question on Deputy Broughan after the last members, if you wish to make a very quick.
Just in relation to the capital plan and probably, I know there was a discussion earlier around PPPs. There was 45 extra PPPs proposed for 2017 within the existing capital plan. How many of those are going to be met during the year?
Thank you. Montana.
So, in relation to PPPs, I would expect that all of the PPP commitments that we have under the capital plan, which goes up to 2022, will be met. In terms of those that are due to land across 2017, in education, there's a bundle of primary schools, school bundle number 5, which is due in 2017. From a transport point of view, it is the M17 to M18, it's the Gort to Tuam Road, and the other significant project is the Dublin City Council Waste to Energy incinerator.
Thank you, Deputy. And question number 19 in the name of Deputy Thomas Broughan.
Thanks, Cahill. I think you'll agree, Minister, the Government has a deplorable record in the provision of capital, and coming forward, obviously, with this capital review is very urgent. I mean, we've heard again and again at the Budget Committee that you haven't even been meeting depreciation targets, normal kind of levels of depreciation, and you only have to go around the country, look at our roads. I see the Deputy there beside you, the roads in his constituency, the roads in my colleague's constituency that I know in East Cork. All of those, you've allowed the whole situation to go to rack and ruin. Your government has, and it clearly is very urgent. And just to ask you, I'm interested to hear that you're consulting the European Union, the EU Commission, in relation to this. It is pretty annoying, Minister, that the likes of Portugal and France, there seems to be various countries that can go ahead and do things, and we're not let do them.
The investment in our local and regional road network was increased by 11% this year. You have made the charge that we have allowed our capital infrastructure to go to rack and ruin. The Deputy clearly hasn't seen Lewis Cross City that has been built at the moment. The Deputy clearly hasn't made reference. I've made reference to the Gort to Tuam Road a moment ago that has been constructed, which is a magnificent transport project. In relation to where we are overall in relation to transport infrastructure, of course we acknowledge that there are capital needs that need to be met. But this is the very reason why we're reviewing the capital plan. This is the very reason for the additional resources that are going to be available to the state, assuming a moderate degree of economic growth over the coming years. This is the reason why we've prioritised capital expenditure to benefit from that. If you look at what we've done in housing alone, there's €2.4 billion committed against that, which is for investment in public housing, and we have a further over €2 billion which will be allocated to capital expenditure, assuming growth is inside the parameters that we have set, which has been done precisely to address the fact that we do need to invest more in maintaining infrastructure that we have and delivering a select number of new projects.
Thank you, Minister. The time, unfortunately, has expired, and I gave as much strategy as I could. I can't. But you won't be able to get the answer.
Well, he's going to answer it. The thing we urgently need 40%, as you know, of our air connection is with the UK in the context of Brexit. So, are you going to deliver Metro North in this programme?
Thank you, Deputy.
No, well, he wants to.
The Minister will correspond with you, I have no doubt, in the context of, because time has now expired. Special note for Northsiders. We move on to the next one.